In an attempt to analyze the consciousness of existence, we use the most basic logic in order to understand the concept of existence. Existence is always something that exists as the foundation of everything that exists. Something which is perpetual and absolute. Everything that exists must possess some wider grounds on which to reside, some cause. The widest concept which enables everything to exist is the absolute, or the being in Platonic philosophy, however you'd say that. His definition is completeness. Nothing is possible outside it or without it. The state of being unconditioned, the absolute, is also the freedom that enables everything else. Therefore, the absolute has divine properties. It has the characteristic of space, or is the one that enables space itself, which, in turn, enables everything that can exist to exist. Although the absolute has no individual traits, the quality of spaciousness is the closest we can get in our effort to conceive it. Therefore, let us imagine the divine absolute as the empty space in which there is absolutely nothing. As such, it is unmanifested, unexpressed, and unaware of its true potential. This state is very close to the experience of non-existence. However, non-existence is an impossibility by definition. This creates an existential paradox. If the divine absolute remains unmanifested, it will remain so in the form of nothing or emptiness, but nothing or emptiness cannot exist. This paradox creates tension within the divine absolute and forces it to express itself and manifest, which at the same time is the act of bringing itself into full awareness of itself and awareness of its full potential. Hence, the absolute, as everything that is, manifests itself into everything that can be. This is the fundamental principle of existence. For this reason, the divine absolute manifests itself in the simplest way possible, directly as its own opposition. No other option is possible. The opposite of sheer endless space, in which there is absolutely nothing, contrary to the void, is one single particle. We shall appropriately name it the divine particle, with no religious connotations intended. It was infinitely small and had overwhelming infinite potential. It had to be like this to act as the opposition to the infinitely big and infinitely empty space. The divine particle we are dealing with here is basically just the virtual opposite to the unconditioned void of the divine absolute. It is no different from the absolute. It is only the absolute's imagination used to express itself in all its possibilities. It possesses no mass and nothing can affect it. It is as unconditioned as the divine absolute itself. A similar idea was concocted by the founder of elementary logical deduction in 3 dimensions, Euclid, in his work Elements. Euclid's geometry is based not on an ordinary mathematical system, but as a mathematical formulation of Plato's philosophy of ideas. Euclid defines a point as that which has no parts, otherwise understood as the occult definition of the being that is otherwise called the absolute. According to that definition, the being, the absolute, is that which has no parts. In this way, one point is geometrically the notion of eternity or the whole, the absolute. The point is a non-spatial entity. It is unimaginable for space to have no dimensions, and therefore this definition of the point coincides with the metaphysical notion of the being or the divine absolute. Again, so many words repeated over and over, and I often wonder, I'm like, did they have to, is there another way they could have worded this? Like I said, there's some good, really great stuff in here, but as I'm reading, I'm thinking, Anyway, that's where I'm stopping for right now.